Good to go now.
Coach,
You're welcome to our Wi-Fi lunchtime service. Wherever you're watching it from, whether it be YouTube, on the Zoom call, or on Facebook, I encourage you to stay and grow with us. And now I want to share some uplifting affirmations before we begin. I'm grateful for those around me. I'm grateful that I have the ability to learn and grow. I'm grateful that life gives me all I need. I'm grateful that I can give to others and others give back to me. I'm grateful that my family will always be here for me. I'm grateful that the world is in the perfect position to which we will not freeze or not burn. I'm grateful that I have the ability to think and I have a consciousness. I'm grateful that my parents assist me in my daily lives and I'm in a house that allows me to be successful. I'm grateful that life is enjoyable and I can live in happiness. I'm grateful to my younger brother and that he is without harm and will live a great life. And finally, I'm grateful for this lunchtime service. Wi-Fi serves to reveal our divine identity, advocate Christ's culture, and equip humanity for the relevant engagement in life and ministry, in an atmosphere of unconditional love, trust, faith, and spiritual power. Our mission is to influence the mindset, change through the revelation of humanity's oneness with the divine, and equip individuals with the truth of who they are, with the intent of having us firmly grounded to also empower others to be impactful in every sphere of life. Our core values are unconditional love, uplifting spirit, integrity, selflessness, trustworthiness, and tenacious devotion. We believe that all of life begins and ends within the triune Godhead, and all of humanity is spiritually included in the love and life of the divine. We believe that this inclusive relationship is deserved, timelessly, sustained and guaranteed by the nature, the Father, who fills all things. We equally believe in the urgency to make mankind aware of the good news of their redemption from an inferior expression of life into the most attractive and abundant life possible. I'll now pass on to Pastor Samuel.
it's okay. Yeah. Hallelujah. A very good morning to you, Sister Mary, because it's your morning. I'll greet you first. The rest of us is our afternoon. It's a very good afternoon to all of you. God bless you, Joshua, for such powerful affirmations. In the course of the week, you posted a short video of a music and you captioned it, "A grateful heart never complains." Which is true. And that's what we as a family here believe in, and that's what we as a family here we do. We are grateful to God for life because we believe that with that life, In that life is all that we need. In that life is all that we ever desire, we ever can be, or we ever want to be. It's Paul writes, and he says that we are complete in him, who is the head of all principalities. Beautiful affirmation, powerful affirmation, Joshua. I think after this session, I'll go back, watch it again, and write them down. Paul says, and he says this: I rejoice evermore, pray without ceasing, and in all things give thanks to God, for that is the will of God for you in Christ Jesus. The will of the Father is for you to give thanks to him because he knows that he has got you covered, because he knows that all things have already worked together for your good. So a grateful heart never complains. A grateful heart never regrets. A grateful heart is always, 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 always super excited. We thank God for today. Thank God for what's about to happen. And I'm so grateful to be part of today's session. One reason and one reason only, because per my schedule, I always say I'm not supposed to be here. You knew that, Rev, I was not supposed to be here. So if I come here, it means that I'm meant to be here. By human orchestration, I'm not supposed to be here, but I'm meant to be here divinely. That's why I'm here. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I always say this, and I don't say it as a cliche or just to fill the words, or I want words to say to while away the time and pass over. No, but I say it with meaning. Whenever I say that something is going to happen or something is happening, it means something is happening. And I'm grateful that I'm part of what is happening this morning, this afternoon. The principle of well-being, I think, I thank God. I just thank God, Rev. I'm just grateful for this series, for the direction or the trajectory that you're taking us. I've had a few people who are quote unquote not believers. And I use that term or that word as we have known in the Christian circle. So they don't believe in what we do, they don't believe in God as we think of them. I've had them ask me a few questions regarding what we're doing now. I don't know whether it's fortunate or unfortunately, I happened to watch one of our YouTube videos when I was doing my late shift at work. Somebody just walked in and said, "Oh, you're a pastor, that's you. Is that not you? Oh, that's you. It looks like it's you. Oh, what are you preaching?" And then within a second, the whole establishment realized that I'm a pastor. Everybody sees me ask me, what's your YouTube handle? I want to go. They say you're a pastor. They say you have a YouTube channel. I told them it's coded. You come to me, I open it for you. You have a look. I open it for a few people. They listen. One of them said to me that he doesn't believe in church, doesn't believe in God, but he thinks that what I'm saying makes sense. That's what he said. I think you're saying something that makes sense, but I don't believe in God. And I said, it's good that you think what I'm saying makes sense. Whether you believe in God or you don't believe in God, that shouldn't be a problem. That should be an issue. You believe in good, you believe that I'm making sense. It is good. That's all that matters. And the point I'm making here is the fact that something indeed is happening. We might not see it as or in the form of how many want to see it. But lives are being changed, minds are being changed, People are coming to certain realization. And I'm grateful to God that you are part of what is happening. I am part of what is happening. There is a revival happening in and around me, and I can see and I can feel it. Yesterday, I made a comment at work. People have a funny way of asking me a question, and the moment I answer, something just happened. We're having a chat in the office. Somebody said, yeah, she had a dream. She was worried. The person had a very worried face, and I went to her. She's a very happy girl, happy young lady. Called her and said, Abby, you look a bit down today. What's wrong? Said, I had a dream. I said, the dream was about a boyfriend sleeping with somebody in the dream because the boyfriend's going on a holiday without her. Like last time, the guy is going on holiday without you. So you just taking it into dream, and then you're just having dreams of him sleeping with somebody else. And then we talked about it. I tried to talk her out of the dream to make her think positive and all sort of. And then I don't know how it went down to the lines of if somebody, so she asked me if somebody sleeps with your wife, are you going to divorce her? And I laughed and said, sleeping with my wife is not enough reason for me to divorce her. I just said that. I said, what do you mean? What? Are you serious? I said, you've not giving me enough reason to divorce my wife. Sleeping with my wife is as soon as I said that, somebody called the office, they picked the phone, finished talking to the person. Oh, yeah, can you believe? Can let me ask you a question? Okay, if somebody slips away, are you going to divorce? And the person, yeah. So, oh, come on, let's. So says no, he's not. And then within a few minutes, I walked out of the office and everybody was asking me, I heard that you said somebody sleeps with your wife, you know, good. Jesus. All of life is perspective indeed, Rev. And the interpretation you put to the events of life defines who you are, gives you a better life or not a better life. And I say something is happening because anytime I find myself in the company of people who, and I love the company of people that nowadays I find myself with, not people who believe in God or people who think they believe in God or who go to church, but somehow, something happens, we do have a discussion, and somebody is blown away or somebody begin to think twice, oh, okay, I think what you're saying is right. I think what you're saying is good. I believe in what you are saying. I find myself in the company of people who have never been in church, have never known God, have never done the things that we are doing, but yet they are able to have a good relationship. I'm able to have a good relationship with them, a good love for them, and begin to explain God to them without having to mention the name of God, Jesus, or quoting Jeremiah or any of the Bible verses. That is what is happening. That is the revival that is happening. I'm grateful to God for the wisdom and understanding that He's given to us as a family. I will sacrifice anything to be here every Sunday. I'm grateful to be part of your life. I'm grateful that you are part of my life. I'm grateful that I know you at this particular point of my life. Sika, Mari, Kesi, Jasha, Rev, Sofumami, wherever you are chilling in Ghana. Nana Ya, Japan. I'm grateful to God that I'm part of your life. You used to say, Rev, that you are the average of the 5 people that you work with. I'm the average of all of you sat here on Zoom. I thank God for your life. I thank God for another truth that is invading our realms this morning, this afternoon. Entrance of His word, David said, brings light, gives understanding to them that do not have. That's always been my prayer that even as His word comes, even as we share His word and we share thoughts together, even as we share ideas, may we receive clarity, may we receive understanding. In the name of mighty Jesus. Amen.
Very much, sir. Yakma, it's great to have you here. For those of you who don't know, Abby is my daughter.
Hello to everybody.
Hello.
Good to have you. So we're looking to wrap up principle of well-being today. I don't know, Ma, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can you give us a snapshot summary of are you able to show face? No.
Yes.
Okay, please do. If not, people on YouTube hear you talking.
You can hear me talking? You can't?
Yeah, I can hear you talking, so if you put a video on.
It's a summary of last week.
Yeah, can you put your video? You know I'm going to ask you, so don't let me ask.
I enjoy hiding behind the screen.
Can
That's okay. Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
get a camera.
Oh, Pastor Sam, the fact that you are going on YouTube doesn't make me want to put on a video. I don't want to be shown around. Anyway, that's just by the way. I was just trying to remember what we did last week.
So when we started with the principle of well-being.
Yeah, we have touched on pain as an integral part of life, which we have. It's natural. We have tended to try to avoid pain and and cling to pleasure. It's called the. Pardon?
9:44 where you are.
Huh?
9:44 where you are.
Yes.
Go on.
Why?
Sorry, go
on. Yeah. I mean, we have explored the issue of pain, that as an important aspect of life that we have, tended to, avoid, and all our actions and activities in our seeking, it's all boiling back to one thing: to avoid pain, right? In pain in any form. And through the principles of this well-being series, it brings our understanding, and it has helped us to shift our focus and to understand that pain is a part of life. And so we have explored what to do, or how do we respond to pain and not to react to it, right? So by coming to this awareness that pain is a part of life, the next step is, how do you respond to it rather than how do you react to it? Because, I mean, the reason why we all this back and forth and, praying, and it all boils back to one thing: to avoid pain. And pain comes with all this fear and stuff like that. And it's okay to feel pain. It's natural to feel fear and all that. But then the question is, how do you respond to it? And that's what the principles of well-being is trying to bring our our attention to. So it's been very helpful. And last week we cap it up with this understanding that it's all about perspective. So then, from where you are coming from, dictate, or the perspective you have about life dictates how your responses and your reactions to everything that life throws at you. I mean, so to speak. And so we explored. I'm not sure if we explored various perspectives. I think we spoke about a lot of things and how we see things. Pastor K mentioned how, and even this morning, how, people see things, and the lenses you wear. If you wear a pink lens and you look outside, everything appears pink to you. And so what you're wearing is what dictates what you see. And that is what I like about these sessions, because it helps you to see things in a different light, and it's good. I mean, we've been stuck in this, in a box. And even you brought up the idea of believing. I mean, what is believing? Believing is nothing. I mean, you rather be or to believe. If somebody does say, I don't believe in God or something, like a perspective, maybe the way you think or the way you've been brought up to believe is what is making you think that, I ought to believe. But then the other person, when somebody says, I don't believe in God, maybe doesn't believe in your idea of God, doesn't believe in your what you think of or how you interpret the universe. Because all this God, whatever, it's all about how we are trying to make sense of the universe. And so there is a perspective that is different from the person who doesn't believe, says, I don't believe in God, means he doesn't believe in the concept, because the concept is not reality. A concept is a way of thinking about something, but he is in touch with himself and thinks that this is all that I know, is living the reality of life. So that doesn't make it wrong, right? It's just another understanding of how he chose to interpret life. So that is where we are exploring the principles of life, which is very important. And I don't think that this sessions is here to preach at anybody. It's rather to point to, point you to see what maybe you are missing, as a result of what you've always been looking at. So you are missing the bigger picture. So it's really important that these sessions go on where we explore and bring things back to, helping people touch on or bring their mind to, another way of seeing the world. You see? So then you will be able to question your own thinking too, right? And that is really helpful. So this session has been really good and helpful. Life and all that we do has principles, and that has guided us all this while. Good or bad, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it puts you somewhere. So if you find yourself in a place where you think that, oh, I mean, this is what I think and this is what I believe and this is what it is, that's fine. That's fine. But there are alternatives. There are other ways of seeing and interpreting the world, and nothing wrong with that too. See, so that is what we are doing here. And thank you so much for the opportunity to allow us to rethink our thinking. Okay. So yeah, thank you.
Very much. That's okay. Back to you for your points so far. I don't know, but something just dropped in my spirit, and I think we will do this next week, but next week we'll focus on an exercise that is just been.
I think somebody didn't leave any stone unturned for me to turn. So she said it all. It's a beautiful summary. Yeah, obviously, it's good opportunity for us to rethink our thinking. She said that, which is true. So, we've had a lot of. I mean, we know that life is perspective. You know, people think differently based on their upbringing, based on their environment, based on how they see things. It's something that if we have had this understanding years ago, like the example I made last week, some of the things that we had done in the past would have looked at it differently. And last week, we did say something to the effect that you don't have to. And you made an example. Nobody wakes up and said, "I've been well all this year, all this year." So let me also be unwell, so that the people in the hospital can also get some of my health. All of us can be well. All of us can be rich. Somebody shouldn't be poor for you to be rich. I think it's something that I think the world have not come to terms with that understanding, and so we tend to think that the world is in the competition. We are in the competition with people. My success depends on somebody, and so the fact that this person is doing well in the area that I want to go, doesn't mean I can also do well. Or someone is doing a particular business and is doing so well. All that you know is how to surpass what the person is doing, because you think that when you do it well, you surpass the person, you get more money than the person. So it's about having more than people, because we see life with a myopic mindset. But these days or these weeks, I've made understood that the universe has got enough. The universe has got mankind. It's got. If the universe cannot take care of the people in it, by now would have given up on us already. That's how I believe. God is giving us all that pertains to life and godliness. The air is God having expression as the air, God having expression as the tree, God having expression as the rain, God having expression as the sun. There can't be shortage of God in any way, in any form or shape. And so whatever you think that somebody has, you can also have the same thing. The person will be happy, you also be happy. I believe that when we get this understanding, we work with this understanding, we would be able to live in peace, enjoy life. All that we are doing is to enjoy life. All that we are doing is to enjoy life. Yes, so that's my point, Reb.
And I did say that we cannot live life without interpretations, either expectations of a sort, using the words expectations. However, we must be responsible. Feelings that are voices are interpretations. And that is how I believe we take charge of our response and engage with inner peace. I say this, that we get trapped sometimes in going through life consumed with wanting to get special moments and special experiences out of life, which make us miss the whole point of living. I brought this in because of what you said. You know, we've got this thing like, oh, I'm wearing this thing, I'm wearing this clothes, and I saw someone else wearing it, and now I don't even like that. I've got this car, and I want to be the only one in this area. Like when another person has it, takes something away from you. You've got all these things that kind of plague us because, you know, I want to be in the place. I want to be the one that everyone is talking about. I want to turn up with the most beautiful dress so that I become the top of town. And all these ego cries, they get in the way of the true meaning and the true essence, which is to enjoy every moment as it presents, celebrate it and adorn it with all dimensions. Right. I was saying this the last time, that each and every time you catch yourself murmuring about life, each and every time you catch yourself complaining about the way life is presented, it could only be one thing, that you haven't taken full account, or you are not taking full account. As simple as that. Because you are busy focused on what is not there, rather than having a heart that joyfully celebrates all that you have been. So it's important. And why does this tie in with well-being? Because everything that takes away our peace of mind gets in the way of spirituality, life, well-being. They aren't mutually exclusive. So many others or many find themselves living life with their pain, feeling and believing that life owes them an apology, who owe them an apology, pain caused them experience. Living in waiting to be compensated by life and by others for hurts and harm on them. It is useful for us to understand that life has got no excess. The life doesn't have any waste. It doesn't have any excesses. And for that matter, life isn't even aware of the supposed harmful or painful experiences that you take. All of these are constructs of mind. They are only as valid mind makes. Life isn't conscious of any harm you experience, because it's not a matter of pleasure and harm and pain. All encompass is cosmic beauty. That is our resistance and our apprehension and our denial and our rejection of how life presents that puts us in a space of labeling something as painful or it's that. And we all have our beautiful, beautiful journeys. And the question is, how are we living it in a way that allows us to make the very most of it? As Paul points out in his letter to the Romans, he said that all things work together for them that love, even they that are called according to the purpose of all of us. And all means all, nothing exclusive. What was it called? The good, the bad, the ugly. They are all for your authentic and your divine good. That's why I'm one of those who believe that everyone is doing their best. See? Everyone, we all take actions based on our knowledge, however limited, our experiences and our supposed humanness, whether you want to call it weakness or strength. That's the place from where we all act. And what you choose to feel about other people's actions, their inactions and choices is entirely your choice. You understand? It's entirely your choice. That's why, like 2 weeks ago, I did say this, that two people can go through the same discomforting experience or event. One can come out of it emotionally battered while the other comes out of it unscathed, feeling triumphant, joyous. Why is that? It's a reality they are choosing. It's your choice. You see? And I think the pain and the injury or the trauma we feel is only created by our own expectations and our own interpretation, which often at times are dictated by our past experience. We can't really run away from. You know, in this same circle that we all learn and we teach, there's a certain, so someone was asking me that, oh, okay, you keep talking about that I should live in the now, live in the moment, the past doesn't matter. And I said, I've never told you the past doesn't matter. I've never said. All that I said is, don't go to the past to traumatize yourself, because there's nothing you can do about it. But if you're going to the past for experiences, for knowledge that enhances you and promotes life, then so be it. Because the truth is, without memory, we can't have it. There's nothing like the present. Why do I say that? Everything, when you open your mouth to speak, everything you say comes from memory. There's nothing that you're saying that is not coming from memory. We live our life from memory. Your lungs, your organs, they remember how to do what they're doing. That's the reason why they keep doing it. So how can I be naive to say that the past doesn't matter? That is what we go to the past for. That is why when these what's it called, spiritual teachers talk about living in the moment, living in the present, they are using a language to make you understand that most of us, because we are unskilled in how to utilize our past, we use the past to traumatize us and to give us inertia so that it stops us from living. It's as simple as that. The moment, like as we are talking, the moment I open my mouth and say the next word, the word that I said before is the past. You understand? So sometimes when and it was just a conversation I was having with this sister, and so sometimes when we come into truth, we should just pause and understand it for what it is without, say, oh, okay, now it's this. And no, just calm yourself down and just begin to understand, because sometimes people make, whenever, because I say this from my own experience as well. There are certain times I say certain things and I will not necessarily say it the way that I really intend to say it, for one reason and one reason alone, because even when that truth hits me and that understanding hits me, I haven't yet recovered from how mind-blowing it is. So I will only share it as I can, or as language will permit me to share it. You understand? Okay? So, there's nothing wrong with the past. What you go to the past for, what's key? In the same way, we say that choose interpretations which honor you and promote well-being, living. So then it's pointless to carry the guilt for perceived harm you might have done to someone or to others for lack of your knowledge. And this, growing up in school, we write names of talkatives. You get punished. As a child, you did, or you conducted one or two misdemeanors. You get punished, and you didn't enjoy the feeling of being made spectacle of, or being made an example of wrongdoing, and the tag that you receive, you don't really enjoy it, or you enjoy that, even though you might have come to a place of accepting that, you know what, that is something not great. You didn't enjoy the tag. So subconsciously, we grow up, and it puts us in a space where it becomes difficult for us to own up and put our hands up when we've caught that. Programming. All that we are doing with these sessions is bringing our minds to the place where we'll begin to identify things in our experiences which are dictating how we are perceiving or the interpretations we are bringing to life, and then seeing how we can refine the interpretations we bring to the events. Friend was sharing with me how the partner is always in the habit of like emotionally blackmail. And I said, very simply, do not succumb to it. You don't owe anyone explanations. You don't owe anyone for their bad feeling. You don't. You don't. You owe it to yourself to acknowledge and take responsibility of the actions, your choices. Thinking about it in the sense that you're doing unto the other, you would love to do that. If you realize an error that has caused a brother harm or pain, what that does for you is it increases your degree of enlightenment. And you owe it not to them, you owe it to yourself to apologize, if need be. Because that is the act of you giving firm rooting to the new knowledge you have gained in things that we do that may cause the other. You are the beneficiary. By ignoring the means, so by ignoring the need to make amends with a brother, and in all of this, we say that, you know, in the same way that, let's say, we are doing, let's say, let's use mathematics, for example, you're doing, what do you call it, you working some sums. In the same way, someone can take the next step in solving, what do you call it, an algebra, or what do you call it, an algebraic equation, to realize they're wrong. Someone, it might take them all the way to the answer to realize that, oh, that doesn't add up. We all wake up at different stages. You see? We all wake up at different stages. So I could probably step on your foot right now and instantly realize, oh, damn, apologies, I didn't do right. Yes, I could do the same thing and think it's a joke, and you'll be trying to bring his attention to the fact that you hit by it, and he will still be so there. I didn't mean it. It's a joke. I don't see why I should apologize to him. Are you going to carry the pain and the hurt and hold it for as long as it takes for someone to come to the same page with you? Or you're just going to accept that you have the choice of the interpretation you put into it, even though you have every justification to consider it a hateful act? I shared this year before the analogy of carrying a glass of water. A glass of water is nothing. You can hold it for 10 seconds. Arm straight. You can hold it for probably 5 minutes. If the same glass of water, as light as it is, if you have to hold it for an hour, you will get tired. even though it's not that heavy. Think of it in that sense. Whenever you feel need, hold on to the supposed hurt that others. I shared this a couple of weeks ago on Facebook, that you know that you are becoming a witch when you get upset at people for their failure to make guarantees that you couldn't make for yourself. And I've realized in life, a lot of us fall for that trap. A friend of mine was telling me that she was unhappy with me. And when we went to the bottom of the matter, it was because she was expectant of something that she thought I could do for her. And I wasn't in the space to do it. So she's carried it in her heart and has been unhappy with me for months. I'm like, are you for real? And when I found out, I could only laugh. I'm like, you were not upset with yourself because you couldn't do it for you, and you're upset with me because I couldn't do it for you. Are you crazy? You see, expectations, isn't it? It's just what it is. So it's important for us to understand that waking up in this fashion, waking up in this manner, can only enrich, what it call it, it can only enrich our own lives and our experiences. By ignoring the need to make amends with your brother, what you are doing, in essence, I love the way Brother Ishmael puts it. He says that you are corrupting the seed of the new knowledge that you should be getting. I really love this principle. I'm not going to lie to you. Yes. Sorry. Yeah, so we all did mistakes as children. We all done dumb things as children. You grow up and you don't go and hold yourself in prison just because of mistakes you did as a child, do you? So choose to let go and not hold anyone bondage and yourself bondage. Why does it call it in bondage? Just because of supposed wrongful act. Fathers. I love the definition that Brother Ishmael gives to tolerance. It's become my own, I've made it my own. And he says, Assam, once you come to the truth and once you accept it and once you understand it, it is yours from now on. You can use it. You don't even have to reference me. No, but obviously, I just acknowledge where I got it from. He says the tolerance is not being able to accommodate wrongdoing, but expanding the love that you are to the point of responding with a corrected version of the wrong perceived. That is powerful. That's the difference between reacting and responding. When you react, you are only reenacting the same wrong or the same perceived error. But when you respond, you expand and you rise with a corrected version of that which you perceive as a wrong. Is this an invitation for us to live in isolation? By no means the case. There are people who are living in fear. On the opposite extreme, there are also people who are living in fear of hurting someone. So they're living our lives in isolation, not wanting, keeping to myself. I don't want problem with no one. I don't want to hurt anybody. But in so doing, eventually what you do is you will be overwhelmed with how many people get hurt or get offended because that is how you are living. You do a benefit as on the phone account. Everyone is entitled to their own expectations. Everyone is entitled to their own interpretation. Fair play. And your innocent, well-intentioned actions or inactions can equally be misinterpreted through someone else's eyes. So why put yourself through that? Why put yourself through that? The useful way to live is to live with genuine intention for the good of all and not be scared of losing yourself in that cause. And I've said that life, all of life, also about losing yourself. Because in losing yourself, you find yourself. I cannot get into you without letting go. I cannot hold onto myself and still expect to relate to you. It's not possible. See? For some of us, we grew up thinking that I put my hand up. I honestly don't know where. I think I sat down and I was thinking when I was doing timeline realization one time, I identified at what point in my life I picked that thing from where I'm not really scared to put my hand up when I cook. And I think it's something that I was blessed enough to have a mother who encouraged me to make mistakes and who didn't make me feel unloved because I had gotten something wrong or had done something bad. A mother who was keen to correct me in love. And I say to the glory of God, it's really helped me that I am not scared to have it wrong. But not many of us have it like that. You come across people who feel that owning up to a fault is a sign of weakness. So even when the bare facts of an event are facing them, they'll go to every extent to rationalize and justify themselves because they consider apologizing or admitting to a wrongdoing, supposedly, as weakness. But I think it's one of the most noble gestures any human can have or do and be, to recognize your errors and apologize readily and graciously when you realize that you are in the wrong. There's nothing shameful about that. So let go of your resistance to owning up. To be in a place where you are not acting in keeping with a particular norm is normal and it's natural. Nothing wrong with that. See? When we learn to position ourselves in a space where we have the confidence and we are not afraid to accept erring, we increase our learning and we increase the knowledge and open up the fountains of knowledge and the fountains of wisdom of life. But when on the contrary, we disown our supposed errors, we disown also the learning that accompanies it and shuts the same fountain of wisdom that is supposed to bless us. And by that, We become a people who are denying ourselves the good of the universe. Don't be scared. Because the truth is, as the number, what's it called? The number one Hermetic law says, Yasha, what's the first Hermetic principle? What's principle number one?
Mindfulness.
Mindfulness. And what's the catchphrase to go with it? The universe is what?
Universe mental. But all is mind and the universe is mental.
Okay. Good. At least you still remember. That's good. And that's true. It's true. True in the sense that that which you try to avoid and that which you try to deny and that which you try to resist, you will have to create the presence of it in order for you to override that resistance. So what you try to avoid, you create. So let go. Don't resist it. It doesn't even matter if in the process they could label you whatever. It's entirely up to them. Because in trying to run away from errors as well, your mind is focused on them. Just in the accordance with the first principle, you attract what you focus on. And you find yourself making those same errors repeatedly. And what a waste of lifetime. The matured, the growing knows how to put their hand up. I don't know if anyone has got anything to chip in at this point whilst we try to wrap up.
So you're on mute again, Red.
I don't know what I think it's just that my wire when I touch it, it cuts the mic. Well, I was saying that if anyone has anything to chip in to that at this point, whilst we try to wrap up.
I'm okay here. I've enjoyed it. Not you. Listening, making it. Yeah. I hand over to Sister Mali. She has something to say. I know she has something to say. We're trying to.
I think you have something to say. Feel free. I'm not going to chastise you for talking. Feel free.
I'm good. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
I think I was listening to someone summarize, I've forgotten the person's name. He summarized Edison's experiment and he said this, that the statement hit me. It was a YouTube video. I wasn't really paying attention to it, and that statement just caught my attention and I just stopped listening. He said that everything in life was once a mistake. It hit me. See, those of us of the Bible persuasion, there's something in the scripture that I've been pointing to a lot of times that I don't know who else or many others who've seen it. When it records the acts of great men of valor, I call the book of Hebrews is what's called the third book of Chronicles, recording the exploits of man. And by faith, he talks about Samson. And then I begin to think, You know, every time you think about Samson's story, you always think it ended bad, isn't it? You know, when Samson comes to your mind, strong man, Delilah, isn't it? We even remember Delilah more than remember Samson.
Let me say something. The Delilah has to come for me to recognize Samson. Because Samson without Delilah is Samsonless. You can't find Samson without Delilah.
You know, but something interesting happens. I think it's 1 Kings 16. No, not talking about Kings. No, Judges 16. Judges 16. It said that the Spirit of God came upon Samson in 15. And when you go to chapter 16, he says that, and he went down to see a harlot. Spirit of God comes on someone, and from there, he lands in the bed of a harlot. Interesting, isn't it?
Energy.
No, but okay, check it.
Yeah, it's talking about energy.
Check it. Have you not seen it? Huh?
The Spirit of God drove Samson to do some amazing stuff, man. And that's what is being taught. You know, the thing is a symbol, it's a myth. It's telling you you say that the Bible is quoted, and it's misinterpreted in many ways. But the truth is still there, but we are not taking our time to want to get it, right? We are brushing on top of it. But yeah, when you read other books, you come to the same thing, and you say, "Oh, this is what it means."
I came across this my first year in university, and I'm like, damn, this doesn't make sense. How can the Spirit of God come to someone and the next verse, like, how? Like, the longer I live, the more I realize that things aren't always the way they look in this. See? Things aren't always the way they look. They aren't always the way they look. You know? When you have time, go check it. Read all of chapter 15 of Judges, last verse, and then go to chapter 16. And it's just there in plain sight. It's just there. And this man's exploits is recorded as exploits of faith. And then someone catches a glimpse of it, and they say that he was incited. And all of this is someone's interpretation. Okay? He says that he was incited to go to the harlot because the Lord wanted to have his vengeance on the Philistines. That is the interpretation someone chooses to it.
The whole thing is interpretation. There are symbols interpreted anyway, so.
That is the interpretation another person gives to it. Interesting. Anyway, so everything in life was once a mistake. You can't keep life, you can't live life trying to avoid unpleasant circumstances. You can't live life trying to avoid supposed bad things happening to you. That is stressful. Because the gospel that has been preached to us has been preached in a fashion that says that believe this and be excused the punishment of hell. So all of our life is spent trying to avoid things going wrong, things going bad supposedly, and bad things happening. That is frustration. Live and let live. Don't carry the burden of harms done to anyone, neither make anybody make you feel responsible for their bad feelings. That's slavery. Choose interpretations which honor you. And don't yield yourself to interpretations which put you in bondage. Because life is good. And very good indeed. Namaste. Any more? Then we do a short meditation and disperse. And I chip in this. The only freedom, the real and the true freedom in life is the freedom of yourself from yourself. The one who understands this understands life. You do a meditation. I don't even like using the word do meditation, but yeah, just what it is. Should we meditate? Should we pray? I know that my desire and the intention for all of us here. Let me get some light music in the background.
My to-do list used to look back, and I would waste so much time not knowing where.
Is it loud? The background sound okay? Can you hear my voice all right?
Yeah.
The background is not overpowering, is it?
Nah, it's all right. It's okay.
I don't know. Not that I don't know. I actually believe that we all agree that as a ministry, we embrace the fact that Wi-Fi is a hub and a birthplace of a beloved community. With the understanding that it is impossible to have an enlightened world without enlightened human. We just want to continue in this expansion of awareness. Even as we use the same light to light up as many as we encounter. The light that lights every man that comes into this world. But I accept that that is our true essence of being on this earth. And we give thanks that all of our needs are met. We give thanks that all who are participating in this grace have their needs met. And that we grow in conscious generosity. If you're hearing the sound of our voice today, wherever you are in the world, we encourage you to be out to allow yourself to be led to partner with us. I don't know why I'm saying this. But partake of this grace with your heart and with your substance. And as you so do, I speak and I declare you are granted immunity from all lower forms of life and frequencies. Because you are engaging with a higher vibration. It's always with as you are proclaimed the eternal satisfaction of the divine essence. And a winning celebration of cosmic peace. That is so increasing for peace. Just bearing others up, raising them from a lower vibration to we are expanding. We're being having this expression of fullness of life come in this form to this planet to shine ever so bright, fulfilling destiny even at the issuance of these words that you hear. You are an agent of change and transformation. You bring in products for the ultimate, the evolutionary good of all humanity. I give thanks for you. You started here on a very powerful, very inspirational note. And I strongly believe that we're carrying on in that vein. Wow. I want you to take a holy breath with me. And as you so do, give yourself the benefit of feeling and identifying every possible sensation in your glorious physical temple. And with every breath, you are embracing this thing called life, which in itself is God, allowing it to move you. Know that as you breathe, you are leaning into life. And as you breathe out, you are expanding in all goodness, love, joy, peace, abundance, wisdom, knowledge. Let's feel. Let's feel. Power of God and the very life source and life principle is at work in each and every one of us, proving your absolute reliance upon it. In this place we trust. And the goodness of God honors our trust and complete reliance on divine prophet. May we give thanks. This abundance, this infinite flow is everywhere present at this moment, in every space, in every place, in every fiber of your being, in every single place all at once. It's everywhere. There's nowhere that this presence and givenness isn't. That means it's right where you are hearing my voice. Right to each and every one of us. It's turning you inside out on the right, what's it called, and touching you. In every perfect way imaginable. In this space, God is invoked as God to be God in you as God. Fulfilling every dictate divine. And so it is. Amen.
Amen.
I want you to enjoy and celebrate your absolute unification with all that is divine. And I declare the path of each and every one of us eternally blessed. Amen. Shalom and life to us.